Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 2nd of January and what is hilarious is I've just edited December's vlog, which hopefully by the time this is up you've seen. At the time of filming this clip, I can't get it to export. I film on my phone, if that's not obvious. I also edit on my phone using iMovie, the iMovie app. And because so much happened in December and there's so much B-roll, the video is like over 2 hours. And so my phone's struggling to have the space to export it. So I'm literally like deleting all of my like deleted folders, like pictures and stuff. All my apps have gone. I'm trying to get that video to you. I've been trying. It's now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been trying since about 7 this morning. So hopefully that video you've seen or is available for you to see. And in that, I've just edited it. I was like, wow, I look like a thumb for so much of that video with my hair scraped back. And lo and behold, first clip of this new vlog, I'm in my pajamas. I mean, they are very cool pajamas. These are Chelsea Peers pajamas. My stepmom, my dad and my stepmom. I say my dad was probably involved somewhere along the line, but I know my stepmom chose these for me. Gave me these for Christmas. They also gave me the green leopard, like the teal leopard print ones that I wear all the time. So here I am in my pajamas with my hair scraped back. But hey, here we are, brand new year. So it's the 2nd of January today. And yesterday I read 5 books, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And I've heard a Christmas parcel arrive, so that's very exciting. We'll open that together. You haven't seen this angle of my spare room for like 3 years. So if you are fairly new, this is the spare room. And that's because until this morning or yesterday, my husband had crammed his desk into this room. But as of this morning, our house is on the market for sale. And so he's moved his officey stuff into our kitchen where he can quickly pack up if people come around for viewing. We've moved his table out so that you can see the proper dimensions of this room. So that's something that's happened today. And it's exciting and it's stressful and it's a bit scary, but that is what we're doing. I've spoken about it in other videos, so you've probably heard me talk about it by now, but we are downsizing. So we're also about to start this weekend house hunting as well, going and looking at stuff. We've been looking online for ages, but now that we are on the market, we can go and look at things. So yeah, that's what's going on. Today is an inset day, but it's inset from home. Basically we worked like extra hours last term because, you know, don't work enough hours. I didn't really work any extra hours. I just work the hours that I work, but somehow that's accrued enough hours to have today off. I don't know. I'm not at school today, as you can see. And I've spent the day just like getting my life in order, doing like a big deep tidy of the house. I have unhauled 29 or 30 books off of my red books, which you'll see in an unhaul video, which will be coming after this one. I've put it in for February, so you'll be seeing it soon after this. I've cleared out my clothes. I have fleed the cats, which upset all of them. Actually, Molly didn't even open her eyes. The other two, massive drama queens about it. And yesterday I filmed all my January content, which I spent today editing and uploading, except the December vlog, which is being difficult. So that's what I've been up to today. But yesterday I started off my 2024 reading by reading Heartstopper. I reread volumes 1 to 4, and then I read first time reading volume 5. And I had the best time. This was the absolute best start possible to my reading year. And I've decided that from now on, I'm always going to start with a reread because it just guarantees that I will start with a book that I love. I've read 1 to 4 before. Like I said, that was my reread, part of my reread 2024 project. I'll leave that video in the description if you want to see the books that I'm aiming to reread this year. I've read 1 to 4 previously, and then 5 is the one that came out in December. I feel like November, December, something like that. Oh, I'm gonna drop these. I think it came out in November, but my copy didn't reach me till December because pre-ordering's really fun. I'm gonna put these down. I'll just hold this one. I'm really scattered today, I do apologise. Yeah, so I'd read the others before, but I wanted to do a reread before I read this one to make sure I was picking up on all of the nuances and all the different storylines and threads, and I just absolutely loved it. In case you have been living in a cave and don't know what I'm talking about, this is a graphic novel, YA graphic novel, where we follow Charlie and Nick, who in the first one, they meet at secondary school when they're put in a form group together, and they meet and they fall in love, and this is their story. But it's also about their friends and their parents and their teachers. It's about identity, sexuality, growing up, all of that stuff, being a teenager in the UK. And I just love this series with my whole heart, and I had the best time yesterday. I did think that I kind of went into it with the possibility of like second time round will I be a bit more critical and maybe give these slightly different ratings? No, these were all 5-star reads. All 5 of them. Oh, I definitely just hit myself in the face with that. They are all 5-star reads. Just, I don't even have anything to add to the conversation. These are amazing. Pick them up if you haven't already. The best start to my reading year. And then today a parcel arrived, and this is from Charlotte at Books and Bargains, and it's my Christmas parcel from her because she's really cute. Look at this, like, and she's so funny because she was really apologetic. She's like, oh, it's gonna be late, I'm so sorry. I was like, no, we're not apologizing, we're extending Christmas, that's a good thing. So I've got 3 parcels to open here and a card. Let's start with the card. So this is nice. Just put away all the Christmas stuff. Now I have more. Oh, we wish you a meowy Christmas. Cats on the card, if you don't know. She's got 2 amazing cats, Bert and Annie. And yeah, that's very cute. Thank you very much. And then we've got these to open. So let's start with this one. This paper, by the way, which you can see better here, is so cute. Like, just Mickey and Minnie at Christmas. Okay, let's open this up. See what we've got. This is double wrapped. That's confusing my little brain. It's like pass the parcel. Okay, I can see a key ring hanging out the bottom. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh, it's a bubble tea key ring. That is so cute with the cats on it as well. Can you see that? If I stop moving around, there we go. That is so cute. That is so cute. I think that's the brand. Cat Story. I love it. I love it. That's so cool. It's going to go straight on my keys. Okay. That was a very cute start. Then this one. This is rattling a little bit. My husband gets really annoyed with me because I always try and guess what a present is before I open it, rather than just opening it. So I won't try and guess. Let's just open it up together. What's this? Keep growing through it. Oh, it's a 2024 calendar. Cute. That can go on my desk at school. Bring joy and light to your year with daily advice and affirmations from positive thinking expert Danny DePiro. Recognise Danny's bright illustrations and her reassuring words of wisdom, both practical and decorative. This daily calendar is the perfect tool for making sure you keep growing in 2024. I love this. Yeah, that's going straight to school with me tomorrow. And going on, either onto my desk, possibly not on my desk, because kids. But I've got like a walk-in cupboard that will definitely come to school with me and keep me positive through 2024. And then we've got this one, which I thought was book shaped, but there's like, this is a weird shape on the back. I'm sorry, I'm not guessing. Let's just open. Okay. I love this paper though. So cute. Oh, I was right. It is book shaped. Okay, so the book is The XXX Hex by Erin Sterling, which I wanted to read for ages, and I think Charlotte enjoyed it. I can't remember, but this is very cute, and I'm very excited to have this on my shelves. Do I leave it till Halloween or do I read it beforehand is the question. Possibly beforehand. And then these are so cute. These are Wild Savannah erasable gel pens. Yes, we're kind of keeping with the Disney theme because this is like Lion King-ish. That is very cute. So we've got the King, Ellen Fantastic, and Head in the Clouds. Again, these will come to school with me for much fun. So thank you very much, Charlotte. I have been given a lovely surprise and spoiled by you. So thank you so much. For now, I'm gonna go and see if I can get this flipping video to save and upload. Then I'm gonna run myself a bath, and then tomorrow we are back to school. It's the 7th of January and Molly is joining me for this particular clip, unwillingly. This is where our bed is. This just happens to be a convenient location for me to sit and chat to you for a minute. So she's joining me. She looks so unimpressed. Can you see yourself in the camera? Anyway, it's the 7th of January, like I said. I have got 2 books to finish, 1 book I've hauled, and I thought I'd just give you a quick life update. So yesterday we went and viewed houses for the first time. Anyone that's not aware, we are moving. I think I mentioned this in the opening clip. But we went to see 3 houses yesterday. Charlie was with us, which was really good because he could see them as well. None of them are quite right. The first one needs a lot more work than the advert said and then the pictures showed. That one is like been put to the side. We might come back to that one. The second one I loved, like really fell in love with it, but it's going to auction on Wednesday and we are not proceedable that fast. So we won't be able to go for that one unless the auction falls through. We'll see. I don't think it will. I think it will sell on Wednesday. And then the third one just absolutely was way too small. We are downsizing, but and obviously we're trying to save on mortgage and stuff, but we still need to be able to live in it. And that last one just had a great garden. Garden was perfect, but the house itself was too small. So we've done the first 3. Gary and I are seeing 6 more next weekend. So we'll see how we go with that. We've also had a few viewings on our house. So yeah, it's all just kind of ticking along in the background. Mo's looking worried now because Sav is in the ensuite, which is behind the camera, and she's chirping. I think she's chirping at birds. You might be able to hear her, but that's why Moles is looking quite so concerned. It's okay. So yeah, so that's what we were up to yesterday. We went to the viewings, went and got a KFC, came home and collapsed. I've also done the first 2 days, or 3 days back at work, 2 days with the kids. And I already feel like I haven't had a holiday and need another one. So yeah, situation normal there. But I have been reading. So the first book that I finished was this one, The Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder by C.L. Miller. This is obviously an ARC. It comes out in February. This was kindly sent to me by Book Break in exchange for an honest review. And this is kind of, it's blurbed as The Antiques Roadshow meets Indiana Jones. And we're following a woman called Freya, who is separated from, is divorced from her husband. He's about to sell the house out from under her because her daughter is now grown up and has left. She's moved to America to go to uni. And Freya gets a call one day from her aunt to say that a family friend Arthur has died. Arthur was an antique hunter, and Freya kind of gets drawn back into this world, and we find out what Freya was like before her marriage and all of that kind of stuff. And they are trying to work out who, they think Arthur's been killed, they're trying to work out who killed him. That's the kind of gist of it. And this was pitched to me as like a cozy mystery. And so obviously I requested the ARC and was lucky enough to be sent one. Like I said, it comes out in February. I gave this 3 stars. This is a debut novel and it very much feels like a debut novel. I was bored through parts of this book. What the author is trying to do is kind of thread all these mysteries together. So the mystery of who killed Arthur, the mystery of why Freya is like she is, the mystery of what happened in Cairo like 15 years ago. But the problem is, because we don't have any answers at all for like 100 or 150 pages and it's only like 250 pages long, I didn't care. Like, I didn't feel connected to Freya. I also found her super irritating throughout the story. So yeah, it had an interesting central mystery. It felt a little bit like a game of Cluedo because they kind of end up at this country house, and you're trying to work out like who everyone is, and there are lots of secrets and stuff. But I just wasn't that gripped. And I feel like it's probably one that I'll probably forget about fairly quickly. But obviously, you guys might like it, somebody else might like it, I'm sure somebody else will like it. It just wasn't quite for me. So that was a 3-star read. Then I had a 5-star read that made me sob. And I kind of knew that was going to happen because this author nearly always makes me cry. And that book was One by Sarah Crossan. This was gifted to me. I had 2 copies of this sent to me last year. One was from the lovely Jo, that's already gone into the classroom library. And this other one that I kept was from Philippa at Quick Book Reviews. And I loved this. This absolutely destroyed me. This is about a pair of conjoined twins, Grace and Tippy, and we are following their lives. We follow I think 3 months or so of their lives. They are 16 in America and they're going to mainstream school for the first time. And then they also have to make a really difficult and life-changing decision. This is written in verse, which Sarah Crossan novels often are. I've read Here is the Beehive one, and I've read Toffee, and both of those absolutely emotionally destroyed me. I love her writing. I love how this was done. Can't really say any more about it. It's young adult. It's, yeah, the ending genuinely made me sob. So that has to be a 5-star for me, because if it gets that kind of emotional reaction, it's an automatic 5-star. Absolutely love this. Thank you so much, Philippa and Jo. for sending this to me. This you will see in our unhaul shortly, not because I didn't love it, because I did. I mean, it might turn out to be my book of the month, then I might have to keep it till my end of year wrap up, but I know the kids also love this. We've got a couple of copies of this in the library and we can't keep hold of them. There are so many kids that want to read it. Yeah, absolutely love this. Easy 5 stars. Then the book that I have bought is Thorn in My Side by CJ Skews. This is book 4 in the Sweet Pea series. I've said before I don't love these new covers. I actually don't hate this one as much in person. I feel like it's not quite as obnoxious. I am sad it doesn't match the old covers. What can you do? And I'm not going to buy the new ones because I have signed copies of the old ones. So anyway, yeah, this is book 4, so I'm clearly not going to be able to really tell you anything about it. I'm going to reread Deadhead, which is book 3. That's my next audiobook up. I'm currently rereading Perfect Crime by Helen Fields because that's the book that Charlotte and I are going to discuss on her live show at the end of this month, which by the time this goes up, that will have been done, hopefully, so I will leave a link below for that. So I'm just rereading that in preparation for the live show, which is in a couple of weeks' time. Then I'm going to go into Deadhead, which is book 3 in this series, and then I will be picking this up. So you will more than likely see me read this month, if not in February. So yes, I'm very excited for this. I'm excited to see what Rhiannon is up to next. And yeah, we'll see what CJ Skews has in store. And then I had, not a bookish delivery, but I ordered from a small business, so I thought I would show you. Molly's looking so bored. Basically I needed some more wax melts, and I say need, all of the ones I had were seasonal, so like Christmassy or Halloweeny or whatever. So I went on to Etsy. I love Lauren's store, as you know. I usually order my wax melts from her, but she's kind of scaled back, which makes sense because she's trying to do 500 things at the same time. So at the moment there's only Christmassy stuff in her store, and I was like, I really need some like New Year, like fresh and clean scents. So I went on to Etsy and this arrived very quickly. I will say I ordered it on the Sunday, I think, and it arrived on like Tuesday. And this store, I'll leave it in the description, but it's called, what is it called? Handcrafted It. So it's a woman called Hannah who runs it. And yeah, that's her little thing there. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description so you can see it. But I went for 3. I only really needed 1. But postage is the same whether you order 1 or 10. So there were a couple of scents I was interested in. So I went for fluffy towels, a winter's morning, focus, look how pretty these are, and clean cotton. So yeah, these are all just, you know, what I would call just New Year, like clean scents to make my house smell nice. So that was a little bit of treating myself. I've done too much treating myself in the last month, as you'll have seen if you saw my December wrap up, which by the way is now live. Well, you hopefully will have seen it by the time this goes up, but it was a real battle to get that video up, so I was happy to manage to finish that yesterday. Yeah, so it's Sunday. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the clip. I mean, you can probably tell it's Sunday because I'm in full thumb goblin mode. So yeah, Sunday, getting chores done. I'm gonna whack one of these, maybe the clean cotton one, not sure yet, into my oil burner. Moles is very interested in what I'm waving my hands about for. Yeah, I need to go and get some chores done and do a bit more reading, and then we are back into the hurly-burly of a full school week. It's the 13th of January and it's been another very busy week. I'm not even sure what I filmed in terms of B-roll. I have got to start checking it before I sit down to film. But it's just been, school's been really busy. First full week back, went okay, no major disasters, but it was just the usual onslaught. Our lovely PGCE student leaves us at the end of this coming week, which means I'll be back to a full class load. I mean, I've had to be in the lessons with her obviously, but she's been planning and delivering them. I think there's a cat that wants to come in the room. But yeah, she's finishing with us on Friday, which is sad. She's absolutely lovely, cracking teacher. But obviously she's going on to her next placement. So yeah, just kind of get myself ready for that. And then today is Saturday. Gary and I have been out doing house viewings all day. We've seen 6 houses. It's now like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We left the house at 8:30 this morning. Seen some good stuff though. We've got 2 that we really particularly liked. We still can't put offers in because we don't have an offer on our house yet, but we did have a second viewing on our house today. So, you know, it's kind of ticking along. It's been a good day. Just like lots and lots and lots of information all in one go. So yeah, my brain is a little bit wary, but I thought whilst I actually look like a human for the first time in this vlog, I would sit and film this clip before I go and get in the bath and fully morph into a slug person and spend the rest of the day just there. So I finished 3 books and some lovely person has sent me a parcel which I wanted to open on camera. So the first book I finished is the beginning of a series that is very beloved and that has been recommended to me again and again and again, and I gave it 3.5 stars. So I feel a bit guilty, plus this was gifted to me as well, so sent to me by one of you guys. Who was it that sent this to me? So I'm feeling a bit guilty. It was from lovely Sarah. And I feel a bit guilty for giving it 3.5 stars, but just I didn't click with the writing style at all. And that was Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshi, oh my goodness, it's just here. I'm very, very tired in my defense and I don't want to butcher it any more than I have. This, in case you aren't aware of, is translated Japanese fiction. Yeah, translated from the Japanese by Jeffrey Trozele. I am too tired for names today. And it's basically 4 interconnected short stories about this cafe in Japan where you can time travel and go back in time, but you have to be sat in a particular seat in this cafe. You can only speak to people that have been to the cafe before, and you have to finish your conversation before the coffee gets cold. And I liked this, I just didn't love it in the way I was hoping to, and maybe the hype got to me, maybe I was expecting too much. I enjoyed the stories and I enjoyed the premise of them. I just didn't have any emotional reaction to them. And I know that a lot of other people that have reviewed this book have had really big emotional reactions, and it was just lacking for me. And that was why it was a 3.5. I enjoyed it. Would I read it again? No. Would I want to read the next one? No. I mean, if I found it like cheap in a secondhand bookshop or found the audiobook, then maybe, but I wouldn't be rushing to pick this up. However, I am really glad that I got to read it, so thank you, Sarah, for gifting it to me, because it's definitely one that I've looked at a lot in bookshops and sort of wondered about, so I'm glad I've got to read it, and yeah, gave it 3.5 stars. Then the other book that I finished, the second book I finished, is the other arc that I had for this month. This comes out on the 15th of February, and that is, if I hold it up right, How I Won a Nobel Prize by Julius Tarantanto. Again, like, names apparently are not my forte this afternoon. And yeah, like I said, this comes out on the 15th of February. This was sent to you very kindly by Bookbreak in exchange for an honest review. I gave it 3 stars. So we're following, what was her name? Helen, who is a graduate student. She's working on her PhD, I think. And it's set in, it's sort of a dystopian or like an alternative history, where people who have been cancelled by mainstream society for the things that people get cancelled for being racist or homophobic or sexually abusing people, all of that kind of stuff, have set up this separate sort of colony on an island off the coast of the US. And there's a university there, and the thing that the university promises is that anyone can study anything without any restraint, without any morals, without any HR department, without any code of ethics. We follow Helen, who is a PhD student, and the person, the lecturer that she's working with, her advisor, has a student sex scandal that's exposed, and he moves to this university basically, and she has to go with him because otherwise her research is completely like dead in the water. So her and her husband move to this university, this campus, and it's about what happens. And I thought the premise of this was really interesting. I think it has some really interesting things to say about society and about what is and isn't acceptable, and also what happens if you are outside of mainstream society rules. There was too much physics in this for me. It's very physics heavy, and obviously I knew that there would be some science because you're following Helen, who is a scientist, and that's what they're studying, but there was too much of it for me. And I also felt slightly removed. There was something about the writing style that felt slightly removed from what was going on, and so for me I just gave it 3 stars. I feel like it's one I enjoyed most of it as I was reading it. I feel like I'm probably going to forget this quite quickly. However, I think there will be a definite audience for this book, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes out. I do also really like this cover. I think this cover is really fun. So yeah, that was a 3 star. Then I had another reread, which was, I will put a picture here, Perfect Remains by Helen Field. I read this on audiobook and it was narrated by Robin Lang. And can I just say, he did a incredible job. So this is book 1 in the Luke Kalanick series, and the reason that I was rereading it this month is I'm taking part in Charlotte from Books and Bargains book club this year. She asked me to pick a book off her TBR for her to read in January, and then we're going to do a live show to talk about it on the 21st. That will have happened by the time this goes up, so I will put that in the description. And I chose off of her giant TBR. I could have chosen so many things, but I saw this book, and if you didn't see it, my top books of the year includes the final book in this series, which is One for Sorrow, which I think is like book 7. And I need Charlotte to read the series so that we can talk about One for Sorrow, because I need someone to talk about the ending of that book with. So that's why I picked it. And then I realised that I haven't read Perfect Remains for a couple of years now. I've been very slowly making my way through the series. And so I was like, well, I better reread it so I've got something to say on the live show. Found it on Everand and read it this week. And the narrator was just phenomenal, because the series is set in Edinburgh and we're following the Edinburgh Murder Squad, or like the serious crime unit. And we're following Luke Kalanick, who is half French, half Scottish. And at the start of this book, he has moved from France to Scotland. And there's a reason why he's moved, which you find out as you go through the book. And he's half French, half Scottish, but he's lived in France like his whole life, so he has a French accent. And the narrator of this did a phenomenal job, because there are characters in this who have Scottish accents. You've got Luke's French accent. There's also Ava, who is one of his colleagues, who's got an English accent. And the narrator was completely flawless. Like, you knew all the way through who was talking, and he just did such a great job. So I really love that. And if you're thinking about picking this up, I would highly recommend the audiobook. These stories are very, very, very dark. Please check content warnings before you pick them up. In each one, there is a different crime that they are investigating, and they tend to be serial killers. And in this one, you have the perspective of Luke as he's moving to Edinburgh and getting used to the city and is given this case. And you are following the perspective of the serial killer that he's pursuing, who is taking young women and holding them in his home, and then killing other young women to make it look like the women he's kidnapped are dead, if that makes sense. I gave this 4 star the first time round, but that was when I wasn't giving half stars, and this time I gave it 4.5. It still wasn't quite a 5 star. It's still a series I would absolutely recommend if you can deal with dark content. I think the only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is there wasn't quite enough explanation of the why with this serial killer in this book. But I can just feel it. I just know I'm going to end up doing a full reread of this series this year now, and I'm really excited to do the live show with Charlotte on the 21st. So yeah, that was my next book that I finished. And then somebody has sent me a parcel, so we'll open this together. Once again, as always, you guys don't need to do this at all. I really appreciate it when you do. It's not expected. Why can't I open this today? And yeah, I just really, really appreciate it when it does happen. It's literally like coming off in like centimetre pieces. So yes, whoever this was, we'll find out in a second. There we go, we're in. Thank you so much. Okay, who is this from? Oh, it's from Lisa. Thank you so much for your December wrap up. It gave me all the feels, snuggled up in a blanket with a hot chocolate watching your December. Happy New Year, you absolutely wonderful human, from Lisa. Thank you so much, Lisa. That's really sweet. I put this up today on a community tab, that I've been on this platform 5 years and I still get so nervous when videos go live. Like, I will literally put a video up and like post it on Twitter and Instagram, whatever, and then I will just run away. Like, I don't look at comments, I don't look at numbers, nothing, because I just think, what if no one watches it? What if I get a horrible comment? Like, I've had horrible comments, all you do is delete them, it's fine. But like, what if people don't like it? And so it usually takes me, Sav, I'm assuming this is Sav that's just broken into the room. Hey Savvy. She's not very happy. She's getting quite stressed with having viewings in our house, I think. Yeah, so it can take me like a good week to build up to checking on a video. And I looked today at my December vlog, which I'll leave if I haven't already, linked in the description. And the like lovely comments on it, I honestly had a little cry this morning because people were being so nice, and lots of people are watching it, which always surprises me on the long videos. Hello. Are we feeling a bit stressed? You can see her tail here. You're going to jump over the counter? Oh no, she's gone around the side. So thank you, Lisa, that's really kind of you. Right, let's see which book you picked for me. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is that? Oh, yes, I can see what that is. This is Bitter. Yes, by Akwaeke Emezi. I read Pet in December. Great choice, Lisa. Thank you so much. And this is the prequel to Pet. So in Pet, there's a world without monsters, and then a young girl's a painting comes to life, or a monster comes out of a painting, and it's about that. So this is the prequel, because Bitter is Pet's mother. So I'm very excited for this. So thank you very much. This cover's beautiful. Look at that. Great choice. I'm very, very excited to give that a read. So thank you so very much. Right, I'm officially blathering. So I'm going to go and run myself a bath and edit this clip, video myself a bath. No, that would be weird. Run myself a bath, put on a fresh pair of pajamas, get on that sofa, get the blanket, get the cat that's perched up there, and read for the rest of the afternoon. It's the 20th of January. I nearly said December then, and it is cold. It has been like minus numbers this week. No snow, so like all of the rubbishness of the cold and the frost, with none of the fun of a snow day. And it looks like we're not going to get one now. I am in the southwest of England. If you don't know, like some places in England and Scotland's definitely had snow. We've had none, which does genuinely make me quite sad, but maybe we'll get some a little bit later in the year, like February, March time. But yeah, I just thought I would come and chat with you guys whilst I look vaguely human. By the time this goes up, my self-care vlog will have gone up. I'm working with Anna Louisa again. They very kindly sent me this gorgeous silver pebble necklace and a really beautiful, really delicate gold V necklace this time. I'll link the video in the description along with the discount code if you want that. And yeah, the theme for the video was self-love, which is their like anti-Valentine's Day campaign. So I thought I would do a self-care day and film it, which is what I'm filming at the moment. So I've just been into town, well, not really town, it's like a couple of towns, small town, like big village over there, and had a nice little day. And I needed it because it's been a really hellish week. It's just been really exhausting. It's the same old thing, isn't it? My job's exhausting, it's dark all the time, my brain's been a pain this week, blah, blah, blah. The usual. So let's talk about books. I have 2 books I've finished. I've got my first DNF of the year. I have got 6 books that I bought today, which I won't talk about briefly because you'll have seen them already in that vlog. And I did some shopping in the January sales, which has arrived, which is non-bookish, but it is self-care related. So anyway, right, the first book that I finished was a book I bought in the charity shops last summer. Picked it up completely at random, no expectations of it, and I absolutely loved it. And that was Burnt Coat by Sarah Hall. I have never heard of this author before, I don't think. I've never heard of this. This was face out, I think, in the charity shop when I bought it. Doesn't say which one, I must have taken the label off, which caught my eye. And I read the back and I was just immediately like, yeah, I want to read that. It's really short. We're following, what was her name? Edith. We're following Edith, who is an artist. I don't know how much to tell you. My stomach's growling, sorry. If I read you the back. It says, in the bedroom above her immense studio at Burnt Coat, the celebrated sculptor Edith Harkness is making her final preparations. Her life will draw to an end in the coming days. Downstairs, the studio is a crucible, glowing with memories and desire. It was here, when the first lockdown came, that she brought Halit, the lover she barely knew, a presence from another culture, a doorway into a new and feverish world. So the first thing to say is it's a pandemic story. It's never really clear if it's COVID or something else, but everyone is like social distancing, wearing masks. The symptoms are very similar, but I think it has a different name in this. So just be aware of that. And it's this kind of weird, really intense, very literary story. And we're following Edith in present day as she is getting ready to die. And we're also going back in time to her childhood and what her mother was like. And we have this love story as well. And it's all just woven together so gorgeously. Like, the writing is incredible. I gave it 4.5 stars only because the ending didn't give me the emotional reaction I was hoping for. However, I would really recommend this, but also check content warnings for this because I loved this, but this is definitely not a book for everybody because of some of the content of it. But yeah, I thought this was fantastic, and I love it when I get a random pick, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, that was 4.5 stars. Then I picked up one of my Christmas presents. I think this was Tracy. I want to say it was Tracy. Yeah, it was Tracy. Bookie Tracy. So thank you so much, Tracy. Which was The Trap by Catherine Ryan Howard. And it says on the front, to catch a killer, she'll become a victim. I gave this 3.5 stars. This was entertaining at the time, but it's been a few days since I finished it, and I feel like by the end of the month, I will definitely have forgotten the details. We're following a girl whose sister has been taken by a serial killer a year previous. And so she is setting out trying to find him by putting herself in really dangerous situations. So she's walking the streets at night, hoping to be picked up by the same man who took her sister. And that's all I'm going to say. You do also get his perspective, which I really liked. I did like some of the twists this took. I don't think the writing's that good. And this is the third Catherine Ryan Howard I've read. And I don't think I'm going to pick up any more unless, like, it's difficult, isn't it? She's one of those authors where I feel like the premise is always really interesting and then the execution isn't quite there. So I won't, like, never say never, but I feel like if I saw them like cheap in charity shops or one of my friends was getting rid of one, I would probably read one. They're entertaining enough, and it was a quick read, which is why I gave it 3.5 stars. But yeah, the execution, the ending just wasn't quite that good for me. And again, check content warnings because it's a dark one. And then I have DNF'd another Sarah Waters book. So I've read all of Sarah Waters now. I loved, what was the one I loved? Tipping the Velvet. Loved that. I've DNF'd a couple of her others, and now I've DNF'd this one. So I think we might be done with Sarah Waters. Well, again, if she comes out with something and the premise is interesting, maybe, because I did really love Tipping the Velvet. That was a 5-star read. Absolutely adored it. 2022, I want to say. This one I was intrigued by it because it goes backwards. So it moves back through the 1940s to end with the beginning in 1941. And we're following a whole bunch of different characters. And I gave it about 60 odd pages, but there were so many characters. There's like 4 or 5 main characters, and then each of the main characters have got side characters around them. And it was just really confusing. Also, the chapters are so long. Like I said, I gave it like 60 pages and I'd only read 2 chapters. And I hate books with really long chapters. It just feels like it takes forever. So I think it's just not for me. And it was making me feel slumpy and making me not want to read. So it was a DNF for me, but I tried. This will probably go back to the same charity shop that I found it in, to be honest. So there's that. Let's keep talking about books and charity shop finds I had today. Let's hope it's more successful than The Night Watch. Did I even say what the title of the book was? This is The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. I am not with it today. I'm just going to show you these in one stack because hopefully you've already seen the vlog, and if you haven't, I'll link it below if you want to have a little nosy at what I've been up to today. I picked up these 6 books. So we've got Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Chevalier, Library of the Dead by Glenn Cooper, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, The Dry by Jane Harper, The Little Coffee Shop of Kabul by Deborah Rodriguez, and Why Did You Stay by Rebecca Humphreys. And I'm excited for all of these. I think this gives you a good cross-section of my reading tastes, and this whole stack cost me like £10 because they were all from the charity shops. So that's been successful. And then I did a little bit of shopping, not very much, in the January sales. I bought some more tights from Snag because they are the best. They genuinely are the best tights. Not sponsored. I will put the website in the description there if you're interested. And it's just a really boring thing, isn't it? I needed more black tights, and I keep like spending money on cheap black tights which I wear once and then I have to throw them away because they're so uncomfortable. So I got them back together. I was like, I'm just going to do a snag order. They are a bit more expensive. They're like £8 a pair or something. But they are so comfortable, and I'm on my feet all day at work. I need comfort and I need my tights. This is probably too much information, but here we go. I need my tights to not be like falling down when I'm teaching teenagers. So I did that. I won't show you those because they're already in the wash, ready to be worn. I did do a Body Shop order. I only went on to buy the foot cream. This was all that I was supposed to get. And then I started browsing the Christmas section. And then I bought other stuff. So I also got the Drops of Youth serum. I really hate the name of this. It's genuinely quite offensive, but it does really work and my skin really likes it. And it was like 60% off, like site-wide. So I got that. Let's move foot cream over there. I also bought 2 spiced orange bath bombs. I might use one of these today, actually. Which is orange, vanilla and cinnamon. Fragrant and fizzing. I got 2 because I think they were £1.50 each, and I was like, I'm probably gonna really like that scent, and then I'll be cross I didn't get another one. So I got 2 of those, and then I bought this. This is the Slather and Glow face mask gift set, and again this was like £3 I think in the sale, and you get 3 face masks. Oops. And a little brush thing. I've already got one of these, but I'll probably keep this for when the other one runs out. And it's got 3 in there. So we've got the Himalayan charcoal, which is one I love. I had that last year or the year before when I had the advent calendar. I don't even know what the other 2 are. What are you? Chinese ginseng and rice, and is that rose? Yeah, British rose. So there's 3 little face masks in there. This would make such a cute gift. Obviously, I'm gifting it to myself. But yeah, that was my January sales shopping. So, plan for today, the rest of today. I've already been out for breakfast by myself, which is a very nice little brunch shop. And then I moved around the shops. You've already seen that video. I don't need to tell you that. We had a house viewing today, which is why I had to go out in the first place, like a viewing on our house. And we had some positive feedback. So fingers crossed, a couple more viewings in the next few days. Charlie's here. Everyone's tired. He's been to jiu-jitsu this morning. Gary's hurt his shoulder, so he's resting. And I should really get on with the massive list of things to do, but I'm probably not going. Well, I'm not going to. No, I'm not. I'm going to have a face mask. I might start with the Himalayan one, maybe. I'm going to have a face mask. I'm going to sort my house out and get it back to how I want it. We always do like a mad tidy for when we have viewings. Our house is tidy all the time, but like all the cat toys go away and all that stuff. So I get my house how I want it. I'm going to add this massive stack of books to my TBR, have a face mask and a bath, and then chill, I think. It's the 27th of January and we are at the point in the term where I'm losing my voice and I think I might be getting my first cold of 2024. It's been another long week. I worked almost 70 hours Monday to Friday this week, which is quite a lot. We had year 11 parents evening on Thursday, and again it was just another busy week. My anxiety's been playing up quite a lot and it's just made it hard work. But I did everything I needed to do this week, and now we're at the weekend. I think the last clip that you saw, I was about to film the Anna Louisa video, which I will have linked probably already in the description. But look how pretty the V necklace is. It's so delicate, like I can barely feel like I'm wearing it, and I just really love it. It's just really pretty. So we are off house hunting again today. So I'm just looking up because Molly is on the windowsill behind you, looking very cute and slightly imperious as she peers down at me. Yeah, we're off house hunting again today. We've got 4 to see, I think, 4 or 5 to see. It's just Gary and I this weekend, so we've kind of piled in more house viewings. Still don't have an offer on ours, but obviously that can happen at any point, so we are definitely continuing to go and view stuff so that as and when we get an offer on ours, we are ready to put an offer on something else. Hello, Mosey. She's gone. that was Mole. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, and then tomorrow I plan to fully become one with the sofa. And just lay and read because, as I've already mentioned multiple times, I'm real tired and we've got 2 more weeks left of term. So I need to take my rest where I can get them. So I finished 2 books. My boss bought me a book, which is a nice surprise, and I've had a parcel arrive. So let's talk about the books that I finished. So the next book that I finished was Our Little Cruelties by Liz Nugent. I cannot speak today. She's the author of Strange Sally Diamond, which I absolutely loved last year. I also read Unraveling Oliver by her a few years ago. And having loved Strange Sally Diamond, I was like, I want to read everything she's published. So I picked up this one, and somebody, I think maybe Jo, was kind enough to give me her other books. So once I've read that, I've read her entire backlist. This was really disappointing. Gave this 2.5 stars. I'm glad I got this cheap in a charity shop. I couldn't see the point that she was trying to make with this. We're following 3 brothers, and it starts with a funeral of one of the brothers, and you don't know who's dead, and you're told that someone has killed, one of the other brothers has killed them, but you don't know who. And then you go back into their family history, and you follow one brother at a time, and you see their family dynamics, you see the kind of secrets and lies within their family, and you see the stuff that happens to them. And I gave it 2.5 stars because Liz Nugent is really good at characterization, and she creates some brilliant characters who feel very real. I didn't like a single person. There was one character and I was like, oh, maybe you are the person that I can cheer for in this. And then they turned out to be awful as well. And by the end, I was just like, I didn't really care who was dead and who'd killed them. I was pretty much like, I kind of hope all of you die, to be honest, because they're all awful in their own ways. And I just couldn't see the point she was trying to make. So I finished it. I mean, it was a quick and easy read, as it always is. And like I said, she's really good at creating characters. But yeah, I just couldn't see what the point was of that one. So that was a 2.5 star, which is rather disappointing. I then did a reread of Deadhead by CJ Skews. I read it on audiobook, but obviously I've got my physical copy, so that's why I'm holding this up. And it was read, as always, by Georgia Maguire, who is just a top-notch audiobook narrator. She brings Rhiannon to life so well, and it's always a really good reading experience. So if you are considering this series, I would really highly recommend the audiobooks. They're on Everand. And yeah, I did my reread of this so that I can read the next one, which is currently, you can just see the very bright cover over there. So last time I read this, I gave this 4 stars, but that was before I was giving half stars, and I have dropped it down to 3.5 this time. I can't say much about this, obviously, because this is book 3 in the Sweet Pea series. Sweet Pea is always a 5-star read for me. I've read it a few times now, and it's just hilarious and dark and twisted, and I love it. In Bloom, I think, has been like a 4-star, but would probably be a 3.5 if I read it now, and this was also a 3.5. It was fun. I liked being back with Rhiannon and seeing what she's doing. I think this slightly suffers in the same way that there's a book I read last year, How to Kill Men and Get Away with It, maybe. It feels like it's slightly confused. Does it want to be, and Sweet Pea has the same issue, this series has the same issue for me. Does it want to be a dark serial killer book, or does it want to be a social justice book? Because trying to combine the two isn't really working. I felt like this was way too long. The beginning I really loved, and the end I really loved. And like I said, I love being back in Rhiannon's head. She always makes me laugh inappropriately, as she's a serial killer. But the middle bit just dragged. And yeah, it was a 3.5 this time. I'm still glad I reread it though, because like I said, I've got the next one on the go there, so I could go straight into that and pick up on all the little like nuances. I also really enjoyed, in the end of this one, there is an Easter egg for one of CJ Skews' other books. And I really enjoyed seeing that pop up. I'd forgotten about that. So that was a nice reminder. And then, yeah, my boss saw this book in a charity shop at the weekend, and her and I have both read another book by this author. She enjoyed that book a lot more than I did, but she saw this one and thought I'd like it, so she grabbed it, and I'm really pleased she did. It's I, Mona Lisa by Natasha Solomons, who wrote Rosalind. Fair Rosalind, which I read, I think, in December. And it's this beautiful, look at this beautiful cover. I've never even heard of this book. I also really like the colour on the spine, and it's in perfect condition. I don't think it's been read. And this is about the Mona Lisa, and it just says on the front, "You've seen my smile, now hear my voice." So I'm really intrigued for this. Hello, Sevi. Cattail. Yeah, I'm really intrigued for this, and it was just really kind of her. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a go at some point. So that was very nice. And then this arrived, and it's been in our house for a few days, and I just haven't felt like filming, so I apologise again that I'm so slow to open stuff when you guys send it to me. But I always want to open it on camera so you can see me open it. And yes, so whoever this is, thank you so much. As always, like, it is not required or expected. Let's do it without doxing myself. Nearly. It's nearly all the way down. That'll do. Yes, so whoever this was, thank you so much. Like I said, I don't ever expect it. and it's always such a nice surprise. Like, it always makes my day when I'm like, oh, because my wish list has What Victoria Read on it as the name, so I know that it's a wish list thing, so that I open it on camera rather than just random stuff I've ordered. Right, that's the receipt. Where's the gift note? Come on, Amazon. They've been rubbish with gift notes lately. I don't know. Oh, excellent choice, whoever this was. This is Gender Games by Juno Dawson. The Problem with Men and Women from Someone Who Has Been Both. This is her non-fiction about gender, and I'm really, really excited to read this. This was a great choice. I don't think there was a gift note. No, there wasn't. Okay, hopefully by the time you see this, I'll have done I will have done a social media like call out. I was just checking it wasn't inside the book, but it's really not there. So whoever this was, thank you so very much. This cover I'm obsessed with. I might read this really soon. I might take this to school and read this as my school book, actually. So yeah, this is about her viewpoint on gender, and it features insights from well-known gender, feminist and trans activists, including Rebecca Root, Laura Bates, Gemma Carney, Anthony Anagaskuru, I will look up to say that, Hannah Witten, Alaska Thunder F, can't say that surname, and many more. The Gender Games is a frank, witty and powerful manifesto for a world in which everyone can truly be themselves. This looks so good. Whoever this was, thank you very, very much. That's really made my day. And hopefully I would have found who you are and said thank you by the time this goes up. Right. Excuse me. As you can see, I'm dressed for the day. I need to go and put some laundry on. My hair's getting really long. I'm not going to be able to get it cut until like mid-February. I think it's like literally the 15th of February I'm getting my hair cut. I haven't had it cut since, or coloured, as you can see from my greys, since October half term. Because life has been too busy and my hairdresser's been too busy, which, you know, is just rude. I'm joking. But I feel like I'm having quite a good hair day today. Anyway, I'm now officially waffling. You literally don't care about how good my hair is looking today. I need to go and tidy these books up, go and find out who sent me the Gender Games and thank them properly. And then put some laundry on. And then we're going to get out of this house and go and search for a new one. It's the 31st of January and I have been off sick for the last 3 days. It's Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. And I thought I was doing so well this term. I was like, yep, it's busy and it's stressful, but I'm managing and I haven't been off sick. And then Tuesday afternoon, I said to Gary, I was like, oh, I don't feel good. And I was like, okay, I'm just tired. We're going to ignore it. We won't ignore it, but we're not going to panic. I'm just going to rest after we've done our house hunting. We saw 4 properties, 2 of them possible. We're still not under offer. I was like, it's fine. I'm going to take the afternoon. I'm just going to read, eat something nice for dinner, blah, 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 nourish, all of that stuff. And then I woke up Sunday and I was like, no, I'm ill. So again, tried to rest all of Sunday and not do anything stressful. And I was like, if I like sleep and rest, then I will be well enough to go to work on Monday. Got up Monday morning, showered, nearly passed out in the shower, had to call in sick, had a little cry. The usual, if you've been here before. If you haven't been here before, sorry, I'm an English teacher and I'm ill pretty much constantly, which is one of my least favourite things about my job. My immune system. This is my 4th year. I really thought by now that this would have stopped happening all the time. Apparently not. I also really thought it was COVID because I've got all the symptoms, but I have been COVID testing and I've been negative. So it's clearly just some other flu virus thing that's doing the rounds. Charlie's school. This isn't interesting to any of you. Sorry, I'm going to tell you anyway. Have got such I've got so many members of staff off sick that he's working from home on Friday because they've collapsed, they've closed the year group. So yes, I'm on day 5 if we're counting counting Saturday as ground zero. I'm on day 5. Today is the first day I've been able to peel myself off the sofa. You can hear my voice, I'm really congested. I haven't actually been snotty. This is probably way too much information. Anyway, yeah, I haven't been like snotty. I can see you can hear a cat, don't think you can see one. Yeah, there we go. You're on Gary's desk chair. Yes, until last night. But I've just been exhausted and all of my joints were on fire and headache and the brain fog and just the general, I don't feel very well. I've had a really high temperature, which has finally started to drop. But yes, today's the first day I've managed to drag myself upright. So tomorrow I'm going back to school because I've already done 3 days of cover and I need to get back into that classroom with my kids and they need me back. So yeah, that's what's been going on the last couple of days. But I thought it would come, sorry about the sniffing, I can't help that either. I thought I would come in and wrap up the wrap up. I have got 5 books to talk to you about somehow since the last time I spoke to you, and we'll do stats and then we will finish this vlog. Sorry about the cat crunching biscuits. I think it's Jack. He'll probably wander off in a minute. So apologies for the cat crunching biscuits. Apologies for this fairly rubbish background. I mean, you do have my pretty editions of Hunger Games, which live up there because at the moment it's the only place in the house I can find where they're not in direct sunlight. And I'm sorry about the sniffing. Okay, let's talk about books. We're going to go, obviously, as usual, in the order in which I have read them. So, I had 2 3.5 stars and then 2 4.5 stars to finish the month. Oh, and then a 4-star reread. Sorry. Right, the first book that I finished was Briefly a Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. This is one I've been really looking forward to. I think it was Emma, a drinking by my shelf, who made me want to read this. Because she sold it as queer historical fiction with a horny ghost, and I was like, sounds great. This was also gifted by some lovely person. What have they done with the gift note? Oh yeah, this was lovely. This is from Grace. Last July. Sorry about that, Grace. But I did enjoy this. I gave this 3.5 stars, like I said. We are following, what is her name? Blanca. And we are in 1838 in Mallorca, and we're following Blanca. She's been dead a couple hundred years, I think, by the time we see her, and the musician Chopin moves into the monastery where she's haunting with George, who is not his wife, which is obviously a big scandal for the time, and George's 2 kids. And we're just kind of following that, and Blanca becomes obsessed with George, so we kind of have that going on, and then we also go back in time to when Blanca was alive and we look at what her life was like and how she ended up dead. I gave this 3.5 stars. The first 100 pages of this I was convinced it was going to be 5 stars and a new favourite. I loved the writing. I'm definitely going to go and find more from Nell Stevens. I don't know if it's her debut, actually. It is. So I will definitely be looking out for more of her writing, although this came out a little while ago, so maybe, when did this come out? This came out in 2002, so maybe there's another book this year. I will look into it. I loved her writing style. I really loved Blanca's point of view. It was really unusual. I don't think I've ever read a protagonist like her before. But I think this would work much better as a short story or a novella. It was just too long. It was quite repetitive in places, and I did skim read in places. And also the end, I kind of got to the end and I was a bit like, not sure what point you were trying to make there, Nell Stevens. But I did enjoy it, and if historical fiction with a horny ghost, sapphic ghost, sounds interesting to you, I would recommend this one. So that was a 3.5 star read. Sorry, my brain is still jumbled. I should maybe film this at the weekend when I'm hopefully more rested. But anyway, here we go. Then the next book that I read was Thorn in My Side by CJ Skews. This is book 4 in the Sweet Pea series, which I've already talked about in this video. I can't tell you anything about the synopsis of this. Gave it 3.5, like I said. Again, it was fun. I loved being back in Rhiannon's head. But I'm just not sure, again, what CJ Skews is trying to do with this series anymore. I'm not quite sure what the point is. I will always recommend Sweet Pea, and I think it will always be a 5-star book for me, that one. The others are worth reading. This was entertaining. Like I said, I love being in Rhiannon's head. She does make me laugh very inappropriately. But there was a lot of waffle in this and quite a bit of kind of navel gazing, which I didn't love. And yeah, I'm just not sure. The fifth and final book comes out, which is called Bad Seeds, in October, and I would definitely read that because I want to see what CJ Scoos does with the end of Rhiannon's story. But this isn't one that I would say rush out and read. However, like I said, I will always recommend Sweet Bee because I just think that book is absolutely brilliant. The next book that I read was Sorrowland by River Solomon. This was also, I'm convinced this was gifted to me, but I can't find a gift note, so I'm really sorry. Whoever this was that sent this to me, thank you so much. Maybe it didn't arrive with a gift note and I should have just written inside who it was from. I love River Solomon's writing. Their writing is just gorgeous. I gave this 4.5 stars. The Deep is still my favourite novel of theirs, which I will always recommend. This one didn't quite give me the emotional punch that I've had with some of their other writing, which is why it was 4.5, but I just still thought this was gorgeously done. This is literary fiction, sci-fi horror. Again, River Solomon just is an absolute master at blending genres. And we're following, I'm so bad at character names, I literally finished this yesterday. We're following Vern, who is a young girl, she's 15, and when the book opens, she's in the woods giving birth to twins, and she's escaped from a cult. And it's about her in the woods with her children, raising them in the woods, and it's about some changes or like a metamorphosis that her body is going through. And that is all I will say. This is about race and gender. It is about power. It is about abuse. It's about family and motherhood and the ties that bind. It's also got a found family in it. I just thought this was brilliantly done. Like I said, it didn't give me the emotional punch, and I think a bit like Briefly a Delicious Life, it was just a bit too long. If it had been slightly shorter, I think it might have had more punch. And like I said, my favourite of River Solomon's writing is still The Deep, which is much shorter. It's kind of novella length, and I feel like if they'd stuck to that kind of length, this might have had more punch. But I still loved it, so whoever it was, thank you so much for sending this to me. I'm also completely obsessed with this cover, and I would always highly recommend River Solomon's writing. I need to go and find more of their writing for sure. I've got 2 more to talk about, then we will do stats. So the next book that I finished was The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich, and I heard Brianna at 4 Paws excuse me, and a book talk about this last year, and I was immediately intrigued. This was also gifted to me. This came gift wrapped, which is why it's got this note in it, which was from the lovely Melinda. So thank you so much for this. Was this a birthday present? I think it was. Yes, it was. And I was looking at my shelves. I was reading Sorrowland, and I was like, I need something easy because my brain was like soup at that point. So I picked this up, and I was like, cool, this is going to be like a kind of thriller, speculative fiction, a bit like The One by John Mars, because the setting is we're in a world where everybody wakes up one day across the whole globe and everyone has a wooden box that has appeared on their front doorstep with their names on it. Everybody's got one that's over the age of 22, and inside is a piece of string. And people realise very quickly that the length of the piece of string indicates the length of your life. And it's about kind of the collapse and the rebirth of society from there. And we follow 8 characters who are going through this like kind of historical event, right? So I was like, great, this is just going to be like an easy thrillery, like The One by John Mars. Brilliant. And then I read it and it made me so emotional. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I think that was for 2 reasons. One, there were slightly too many characters. So some characters I felt really connected to, and others weren't like kind of gone into in as much depth or detail. And secondly, it was very America centric. And I feel like if we'd had some characters sort of from around the world, which John Mars does, I think, in The One, I think we have different places in the world. I think it would have had a lot more punch. However, this was brilliant. It was really fast paced. I read it really quickly. And it throws up that question of what would you do? What would you do? Because we follow characters in this book who open their box and discover that they have a long piece of string, so they've got a long life. We have other characters who open their box and they have a short string, so they're going to die, you know, quicker than they thought. We follow people who refuse to open their box and kind of put it away and don't look. We follow
couples who are grappling with this, and we follow couples who, one of them is a short stringer and the other is a long stringer. We also follow characters who are in like public office and how that affects it. And I just thought it was such an interesting question to look at. I feel like if you need a book for a book club, this would be such a good one, because there'll be so many different points of views on that topic, and I feel like Nikki Erlich handled it really well. And like I said, I was emotional by the end of this. I didn't cry, but I felt a lot more emotion than I was expecting to when I picked it up, so I would really recommend this. For the sake of argument, I don't know, you guys need to read this book, but I wouldn't look. Having read this, I wouldn't look. So yeah, I thought this was fab. Absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for sending it to me. And yeah, that was a very solid 4.5. I will definitely be looking more. This I think is also a debut, which is ridiculous that you can write this well for a debut. But I will definitely look out for more from that author. And then the final book of the month, which I will put a picture of up here because I read it on audio, was a reread of Perfect Prey by Helen Fields. Again, it was narrated by Robin Lang, who narrated the first one. I gave this 4 stars the first time I read it because this was a reread, and it stays at 4-star. This is the second book in the Luke Kalanick series. And as I think I've already said in this video, I did not expect to be doing a reread of this series this year, but here we are. Reread the first one so that I could do Charlotte's live show with her, and now I'm fully obsessed. This one, I gave it 4 stars. It's a bit slower to get going. I remember from my first read of this series, I think this is my least favourite of the 7 books. It's still a 4-star, so it's still solid. It just takes a bit longer to get going, and it takes a while for the serial killer perspective to come in. This is a police procedural series where we are following, I think he's a DI. I don't know. He's an inspector, Luke Kalanick, who is working with the Edinburgh Major Crimes or Serious Crimes Unit. They're the murder squad anyway. This is the second book in the series. Yeah, it's a 4-star. It just takes a while to get going. It uses the miscommunication trope quite a lot between our characters, and that always annoys me. So it's a 4-star, still highly recommend. This series is very, very dark. I just want to make that clear. Please check content warnings before you pick it up. I will put the content warning website that I use in the description so you can check it there. So please look after yourselves, because there are some seriously dark themes, and not just the serial killer stuff. Some of our police characters are going through things and go through things in this book that could be triggering for people, so please check that. But yeah, that was my final read of the month, and it was a solid 4-star. Okay, let's do some stats. Oh, I also just wanted to show you something that I bought myself, because what do we do when we're not feeling well? We buy random things off the internet, and these arrived yesterday. I bought myself some, it's just stuck to the envelope. I bought myself some hair conditioning stuff, not very exciting. I bought myself an extra long charging cable for my iPhone for the car, because I'm going on a long journey next month, which I'm very excited about, and my current cable doesn't reach. It's all these very boring like life stuff. I bought some, what else did I buy? Oh, I bought my costume for World Book Day. I'll put the picture up here, which is in at the start of March. I'm going as, who am I going as? You can see her now. Mary Poppins. So I'm very excited for that to arrive. That should arrive today. And then that gives me like over a month to try it on, make sure it fits, wash it, get Gary to iron it, and then work out any accessories I need. So I bought that yesterday, which is exciting. I went as the Mad Hatter last year, which was a lot of fun. So I've bought a few bits like that. And then I was like, I want nice snacks. So I bought popcorn. And this is a brand that Charlotte's been raving about, so I was like, well, let's try it. So this is Popcorn Shed, and I think it's like their celebration selection or something. So we've got salted caramel, we've got pop and choc, which sounds very cute. We've got butterscotch. Oh yes, please. We have got very delicious. So we're going to try these out today and tomorrow. We've got birthday cake, and then 2 more. So we've got cookies and cream, and what's this last one? Rainbow. I'm assuming they're going to be different colours. So yeah, you'll probably see B-roll of that in February's vlog as I try those over the next few days. So I've been like treating myself to a few bits, which is a bit naughty. But anyway, right, so let's talk about stats and then you can go on your merry way. So in January, sorry, that was a horrible sniff. If I knew how, I would edit out stuff like that out, but here we are. So in January, I read 19 books. That's wild. And I was about to say, oh, but I was on holiday for the first week. No, I wasn't. I was on holiday for literally the first 2 days. Although I did read 5 books in those 2 days. Anyway, I read a lot of books, which is quite surprising. Number of pages was 6,555, which is 212 per day. My target per day is 150 books. 150 books, 150 pages, sorry. So yeah, it was a particularly good reading month in terms of volume, but also my average star rating was 4.1. So in terms of quality, we're off to a solid start in 2024. My favourite read of the month, I mean, this was difficult because I gave 5 stars to Heartstopper Volume 5, 1, which made me sob, which was unexpected. Is that all of my 5 stars? Yeah, I did have quite a few 4.5s. Anyway, the one that's going to have to win it for this month, because I can't stop thinking about it, is Heartstopper Volume 5. I just love this. I love how all of the different themes are dealt with. I just love it. So that was definitely my read of the month. My most disappointing won't be a surprise. That was Our Little Cruelties by Liz Nugent. This I gave 2.5 stars, and going in I thought it was going to be at least a solid 4. So that was definitely my most disappointing. My TBR stands at 40 books, so that's good. It's 2 less than we started on for the year, but that's fine. It's still under, I think, 50. I want my books sort of 50 and below. My oldest book on my TBR, and I'm tracking this because one of my big aims for this year is to make sure there are no books on my TBR older than 6 months, unless they are specifically seasonal, like Christmas books. So my current oldest read is from August, so we're obviously well inside that 6-month target. Is this one. This is Learned by Heart by Emma Donoghue. I bought this on my birthday. It is a signed first edition, and look at those edges, like just gorgeous. And I'm completely intimidated by this book. I was so excited to find it on my birthday, and I still haven't picked it up. So this is currently my oldest read, so you will see this. You will see this in my February wrap-up. I'm going to do it. I don't know why I'm so intimidated. Well, I do. Emma Donoghue, I have DNF'd, given like 2 stars, and I've given 5 stars. And so I'm really scared. And I was excited about the premise of this book, because it's all about Anne Lister, who, look at these pages, who really fascinates me. But the reviews haven't been that great. So we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Because I'm going to have to read this in February. So that's my current oldest read. Subscriber count, that is for my info only, but my channel has grown this month, so thank you so much. Hello, new people. I will try and do better with content in February and look slightly less like a thumb. And then balancing the books. So I had 12 books go out. I read 19, but only 12 of those were on my physical TBR. I did a lot of rereading in January and read a couple of audiobooks as well that weren't physically on my TBR. So I had 12 go out. I had 11 come in. Most of which were gifts from you guys, but I also bought myself those 6 books when I did that little self-care vlog. So, you know, it does mean that I've had 1 more go out than in. So at the moment we are still in the green, and that's okay. Okay. January. What a weird month. It's always hard. Done now. And looking forward to February. I've got another week and a half of school. And then I'm into half-term holiday. I am going away by myself for 2 nights in that week. I don't have Charlie, and Gary's working. So I was like, oh, what should I do? I'm going to go and see a bookish friend who has actually already mentioned it in one of their videos. But in case you haven't seen that, who do you guys think I'm going to see? I'm not going far. It's about 2.5 hours from where I am, which is near Bath. Very excited to see them, and also just go on a little solo adventure. I think I'm going to separately vlog for that. I will put a little bit into the February wrap up, and obviously any books that I finish in that time I will talk to the wrap about it, but I think I'm going to do a separate kind of come with me type vlog, which should be fun. So I've got that going on. I've got Valentine's Day. Gary and I don't really do Valentine's Day. And hopefully some good books along the way. So yeah, thank you for watching this bit of a muddle. It's how it usually is, so thank you for that, I appreciate it. Yeah, also keep an eye on my Etsy store, because I think I'm going to do some of my own designed bookmarks, which is a bit scary. Amy is doing some what I would call proper ones, for us, but they aren't going to be ready till the spring, and I kind of want to get a few more things up on the Etsy store and try and raise as much money as possible for the charities. So yeah, keep an eye on the Etsy store. I will also put like announcements on the community page here to see what shenanigans I am up to. Yeah, I think that's it. If you got to this point in the video, leave me a popcorn emoji because I'm really excited for these popcorns. Like, Charlotte always raves about them and she's usually right about this kind of stuff. So yeah, leave me a popcorn emoji so I know you got to this point in the video. Please subscribe if you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye!